Hi, I'm Simon, and we are here at Jamchester 2017, the second Jamchester event, the UK's biggest professional game jam. And I'm here with Stephen Hay from Special Effect, which is a charity that helps gamers with disabilities get into gaming. So Stephen, what's your relationship with Special Effect and how do you work with it?
So I'm an ambassador for Special Effect. I came across them probably 2-3 years ago when I was working at EA, and essentially just saw the work that they were doing, which is incredible really, because what they do we all take for granted. Everybody here, everybody in the games industry loves games. They adore games. It's what we do. And if the ability to play games was taken away from you, that's an awful thing. And what Special Effect do is essentially give gaming back to people. A great charity, and it's great that Jamchester supports them.
Yeah, so with Jamchester we give our ticket money to Special Effect. The event's paid for by the sponsors, which we're very grateful for, and then we give the ticket money as a charity donation to Special Effect. So Stephen's here to talk about Special Effect and the charity and do videos and things like this to spread the word. So, I know quite a bit about Special Effect because I've followed it for a few years, donated to various events. We have five-a-side football competitions, we have people do they do the Great Manchester Run in aid of Special Effect and stuff like that, like quite a few other charities. But one of the things that's really interesting about Special Effect is they do a lot of games-related events, so things like gaming marathons and stuff like that. And one of the most interesting things is coming up in September.
Yeah, in September they have one special day. So one special day is on September the 29th, it's a Thursday. They're hoping to raise £100,000 on that day to support the work of Special Effect. I think we can smash that basically. Already they've got people like EA involved, they've got people like Devolver involved, Yogscast, big name support. But also, the magic thing about Special Effect is that it kind of doesn't matter. One person can support Special Effect, a two-man company can support Special Effect, and they're just as grateful, and they love that support because they're all about inclusion basically in any way. And so what we hope to do is kind of spread the message about one special day and make it like the gamers equivalent of Red Nose Day. So if anyone and everyone can do a little bit, from children doing sponsored gameplays, whatever, to companies giving maybe 10% of their revenue that day to Special Effect. It really is. If you give 50 quid, or you give them a fiver, or you give them 100 grand, that'd be great. Everyone can get involved. They want to make it easy. Any kind of way you want to get involved, please get involved. And it's Thursday the 29th. And if the Manchester gaming community can get behind it, I think it'd be great. It's a uniting thing. It's something we all care about, and it's the gamers' charity after all.
Yeah, absolutely. So Special Effect, maybe we're doing this in the wrong order, but we wanted to talk about one special day. So Special Effect, the actual stuff it does for people. If you go into the Special Effect website, there's lots of really interesting videos. They're on Facebook, and you can follow them on Twitter. It's just at Special Effect, isn't it? I think on Twitter.
I think it is.
I think we'll hopefully put it on the bottom of the screen or something in the future. So some really cool stuff like. What do they actually do? They don't just give people computer games. They do things like they develop versions of games so people with disabilities can play them. So things like eye tracking for people that can't move their arms. So it measures where the eyes are and they can stare. So I played Colin McRae Dirt a couple of times with the eye tracking, and we had a competition at the Develop conference and that kind of stuff. And then what sort of other things do they do to adapt technology for people?
They do a lot. So the people that they're dealing with is a case-by-case basis basically. So some people have kind of, I guess, less severe disabilities than other people. So they're dealing with people who perhaps are losing motor control or have kind of lost a bit of motor control. And what they might do for them is they go out, they visit these people, they say, these people, they might love FIFA, so give me FIFA back, and it's a case of getting an Xbox controller, pulling it apart and building it back again so that works for that person. So that's at one side of it. The other extreme is for people with complete locked-in syndrome, where they really literally can't move a muscle, but they can move their eyes and they can see the screen with their eyes. And like you say, using that for Colin McRae and other games, and these people sometimes it's the disabilities have kind of happened to them. Sometimes they're born with them. But what it does is puts them on a level playing field. So if you go to that website, you'll see examples where there's kind of brothers, and one is severely disabled, the other one is not at all. They're playing football together. It's just like really simple things like that, and you just go, my God, how can you not be moved by that? Especially if you love games.
Yeah, absolutely. So, another interesting thing that I've spoken to Special Effect about before is that we can speak to them, and so as game developers, because this is a game developers event, professional game developers game jam. So one of the things that Special Effect can also help us with is they can help us connect with people with disabilities and make us think about how we can develop our games better. And so I think that's quite interesting. So they'll give us advice on how do we make our games more accessible to people with different disabilities? And obviously, if you're releasing a commercial game, there's you can't release a specially adapted controller with every game. But it's things like what can we as the games industry do? Things that are actually maybe a day's work for us, but will massively help people. It's things like making sure there's subtitles on games, or making sure that sort of a different, not necessarily disability as we would term it, but things like people who are colourblind, they can't necessarily see the difference between colours in games and stuff like that. So there's still quite a lot we can do. Okay, so what we see a lot of. We get a lot of videos and stuff on the Special Effect. What's the because they talk about who they've helped. So are there any examples of ones that have really moved you? Because you talked about being moved by seeing all these things.
I think there's a boy called Corey, for example, and there's a video about Corey's story, which is really nice on there. And I forgot what he was playing, and it was just it's just giving him the access and to play games and to do something which makes him feel like a normal child, because it's not just children they help, it's the whole spectrum. But this boy, kind of had disabilities that were just stopping him just using a controller, to any kind of effect, and he could use it. And they, they adapted this controller because they have a lab down there, down in Oxfordshire, and they built this controller especially for Corey, and it just enabled him to play just like any other child. And you just see him playing on this and just laughing and enjoying himself just like any other child, but that it's special to him because it's been given to him, it's been like gifted to him. He hasn't been able to do it, and that is cool. But there's so many stories on there basically, and that's what is. And, it's a special charity. It's a very personal charity, and to see that and to see the effect that it has on not just those people who are able to play the games, but especially in this Corey one, maybe even more so, because I think there's a little bit of footage of his dad, and and the difference it makes to the people around them as well. And you don't often see that, and that's like, it's just really, it's quite fulfilling to see that.
So you can check out Corey's story on the Special Effect website, Facebook, Twitter. It's all up there at the moment. Easiest, just Google Special Effect or Google Special Effect Charity. All that information will be on there. If you want to check out their website, and you can communicate with them and find out ways that you can make your games better and helpful for people with disabilities as well. So I'll just say thank you to Stephen. What's your Twitter handle?
It's at Hey Stephen. So my Twitter handle is at Hey Stephen Hay, and Hey Stephen with a PH.
So you should wear a t-shirt with that on. That's the trendy thing to do. So Stephen's there. Stephen's got 24 years experience in the games industry at EA and Chillingo and Ocean Software and things like that. So he knows what he's talking about. And he's there to talk about Special Effect as well. So you follow him. He'll be sharing stuff from Special Effect. We'll be sharing stuff from Special Effect on the Gameopolis and the Jamchester Twitter accounts as well. So so thanks, Stephen, and nice to talk to you.
Thanks for supporting Special Effects. Brilliant. Thank you.